I definitely went into this episode buying into the hype. I thought we were going to get a little taste of the epic war that is to come. And instead, we just got setup. And when you think about it, we got almost an entire season of setup. We had one battle, right? Just Rook's Nest, really. One battle in 8 episodes. By the way, welcome back to AB Entertainment. I am back. Had a little bit of a hiatus due to moving, but you guys knew I wasn't gonna miss the season finale, baby. Come on, and that's kind of why I'm a little down. I'm really surprised they used an entire season for setup. Obviously, I'm not a book reader. I do not know how this story ends, so please in the comments, and for the rest of us who also just live and die by the show, please do not put anything about how all this ends. Still love the show. I'm very excited for season 3. It's just a little bit of a downer because pretty much all of season 3, at least half of that, I thought we would be getting this season. I thought there was a lot of time spent on storylines that didn't really matter. They could have done a couple things. They could have made this season 10 episodes like season 1, because season 1 was also kind of a setup season. That was the family drama setting the scene so that season 2 could start popping off. And it popped off this season. Episode 1, it popped off. The fight with Aegon and all that. I forget which episode that, and Rhaenys dying. I think that was episode 5, maybe 4. Popped off then. Obviously, last episode with finding the new dragon riders. They definitely picked and chose where to spend the money. And when they did spend the money, it looked great. But I just feel like they could have made this season 10 episodes and it gave us a taste, at least the start of the war, really. I know the war started, but you know, what they just finished leading up to, they could have given us more of a taste of that in episode 9 and 10. And then we can just start season 3 in total carnage. Or you keep this 8 episodes, you want to keep the budget a little more modest and cut out some of the scenes. I mean, I know in the book, Daemon just goes to Harrenhal and there's not really any story about it, and he just comes back and he's like, "Oh yeah, I had a good time. By the way, here's an army for you." So they had to flesh him out a little bit, the writers for the show. Same with Rhaenyra. This part of the book, Rhaenyra is off the table almost. So they had to kind of come up with what she would be up to. So I understand all that, but again, I mean, basically almost 2 seasons, like 75% setup just to get to the juice. Now, before we jump too far into it, if this is the first time you're checking out one of my House of the Dragon videos, welcome. I really appreciate you joining me. Go ahead and check out some of my other reviews from this season. Not really reviews. Again, these are just my instant fan reactions, the things that are the most top of mind for me after checking out every episode. Check out the other pop culture stuff on my channel. If you like my style, subscribe, give me that like, and I would really appreciate it. And we will now jump back into the finale of House of the Dragon Season 2. Oh yeah, and a lot of character motives just kind of switched like that. Like, Daemon went on this whole journey, I guess all those premonitions and whatnot, and then he sees the final one at the end where he sees Emilia Clarke with her baby dragons. He sees winter coming, and because of that, he now knows of the Song of Ice and Fire, just like Rhaenyra does. And just like that, he just changes, and he's like, "I'm sorry, here's your army." Like, this whole season, he was all about being king, and just like that, he's just like, "No, you with me. Oh, I'm with you again." I kind of said in the earlier video, it'd be kind of lame if he just went back to her again. Not lame as far as the story, because I wanted them to fight together. I want them, trust me, I want them to take out Team Green together. But it's just the way it happened. A little questionable to me. This man, oof. Man, once you got Daemon back, you gotta lock him up. Because this man's gonna mess it up for sure. With Silverring, like, he's got no respect for any of this. This dude, I'm not gonna call him a clown because he's living his best life right now, but he's a f up. He's gonna mess it up, and somebody's lying. This whole plan about how Rhaenyra is gonna march into King's Landing while Aemon, temper tantrum Aemon, is out marching to meet up with Cole. Again, another Cole, like the jackass of all jackasses, trash Cole. And now they're trying to make him a sympathetic character. He's like, oh, I've seen what dragons can do now. This is all meaningless. What are we really doing? Again, the characters just changed quick. It really did remind me a little bit of the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones. Characters just doing things because it's convenient. I don't know, but either Alicent's lying or Daemon's gonna switch up again, or I mean, those are really the two biggest forces right now for how that season ended, or Oof's really gonna mess something up. That's guaranteed. Another epic battle happened off screen with Aemon burning, was it Sharp's Point? Sharp's Point to the ground, laying siege. I am glad the Alicent scene happened with Rhaenyra because Rhaenyra's plan of just burning down Old Town, and I forget the other town she was going to go after, killing all the civilians. Her riders were like, sure, that's a good idea. I don't really want to see her do that because that's not how her character's meant to gain power. Like, as she said, like, what would there's no way my father wanted this. Nah, he'd be very disappointed if that's how she had to come to power, and especially since it involves killing off her own kin, his kids. I understand a son for a son. She's got to take Aegon out, but Aegon's now being moved. That's very interesting. Helena's, as a seer, her powers are really being shown now. Again, I don't know how much I love. I guess that Daemon's premonition didn't really show us that much. It really just showed him more of what we have already seen. There were a couple scenes in there that were kind of ambiguous, so we wouldn't really know what it was. We just saw some carnage. But then Helena, like, telling her brother what's going to happen to him and all that, and I'm pretty sure that's probably is what happens. But back to Rhaenyra's plan. She's laying all this out. I'm like, you got 6 dragons now. This is before she had to go check on what drama king Daemon was up to. But I was like, you got 6 dragons now. Let's roll up at King's Landing and end this. Like, do it, Jace and not Aemon. These damn names, y'all. Jace and Daemon wanted you to do in episode 1. Just roll up. Like, why go burn Old Town and again, the other town? I can't remember the other town she was going to target. When you could just roll up to King's Landing, kill less civilians, and just take them all out right there. That's the part I didn't really understand. So I'm glad that the original plan is no longer going to happen. At the same time, I doubt Alicent's grand plan of them just marching in and handing over the city. That's definitely not going to go well either. With how hard Matt Smith was promoting this season, I definitely thought he was going to die. So when he pledges back to Rhaenyra, and I wasn't really paying attention to the clock, so I still thought we were going to get some battle at the end of this episode. And then I'm like, dang, like, the Daemon fight's about to go down now, and I'm pretty sure Matt Smith's about to die. Now, that very well could still happen in season 3. They have to meet. It's been teased so many times. They have to meet in battle, and I don't want it to be a dragon battle either. I want them to be hand-to-hand combat battle. Cole's kind of meaningless to me now. Like, he was so trash, and now he's just a little again. It's like he'll get taken off the table eventually. Probably won't be even in epic fashion. It'll probably just be like an eye roll. Wow, that's really all you give us. Kind of like how when Cersei died. But I mean, it's a shame we gotta wait 2 years, most likely. They haven't even started filming this yet, so it's definitely going to be 2 years, especially when you think about all the CG it's going to take for these dragon fights, Dance of the Dragons. Will there be a season 4? Or is it just going to be total epicness, season 3, and then we'll have the conclusion? I still have really no feel for who the Mad King ends up coming from. Obviously, he comes from one of these lines, and I really can't call it. Even though Team Black has all the advantage right now, literally all the advantage. Other than maybe on the sea, I feel like the Lannister squad could give Corlys and the boys some problems. That fleet was looking deep. But yeah, I'm just a little bummed that we're now 2 years away, and that's all we got this season. But still a good season of television, no doubt. Top tier. There'll probably be some people on YouTube that try to like fake hype this. there's nothing to be hype about from that episode. Like, let's just be honest. It was a setup. But also there'll be people that are ultra down. Like, oh man, this season was trash. I can't believe nothing happened. Like, nah, this was good television for the most part. Little sloppy handling of the characters. Again, just a lot of them changing motives, and not in like, oh, I'm all I want is power, like strong crippled boy. All he cares about is power, and right now he feels like his best way to power is just to keep rolling with Aegon and be Aegon's right hand man. Also, seeing Otto like chained up in jail somewhere, what was that about? Like, who got Otto on the way back to Old Town? That's crazy. It's funny, I hated Otto in season 1. I called him Palpatine, even though I respect Palpatine. But now with seeing how trash his grandkids were, and he was like, he knew it too. He was calling them out. That kind of made me gain some respect for him. Also, I'm glad that they had Alicent admit that she didn't use the word love, but she was very fond of Viserys. There's some people out there that act like Viserys is basically raping her. Like, nah, that was a real marriage. Like, they were faithful to each other. She enjoyed his company. He enjoyed her company. Let's keep it real out here. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Are you more on my side where it's like, good TV, but I really was looking forward to most of what's going to happen in season 3, I guess. It's going to be, I wonder if there's going to be season 4. I would say I hope there is, but to be honest, if they're just going to kind of dilute season 3 to show even more in season 4, I kind of hope it just ends at season 3, to be honest. I'm good with the setup seasons. Like, I'm ready to get to it. I'm ready to find out how this all ends. But I want to thank you guys for joining me throughout my series. I missed episodes 6 and 7, but I was able to come back here at the end. I want to thank you guys for joining me this whole time. And if this is your first time seeing my channel, check out some of my other stuff. I got a bunch of playlists on my homepage. If you like my style, go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And hey, we're all going to be in much different places in 2 years, but I will be back in 2 years for House of the Dragon Season 3, and obviously I will be back for many other things as well. Thanks again. I loved watching Season 2 with you guys, and I will see you next time.